welcome them as future leaders of this community, and we ask a blessing on them especially. We thank thee for the many blessings that we have on this wonderful mountain. We thank thee for the cool weather that's coming, and we ask that if it be thy blessing, we would be blessed with moisture. Again, we thank thee for this opportunity. We ask a blessing on this council that we will come to righteous decisions, and we say this in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Sorry.
One, two.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, the land of the free, and the
Thank you very much. That was really awesome. We appreciate that. Our first item is call to the public. Any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that's not on the current agenda may do so at this time. Know that you need to keep your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing nobody move to call to the public, I will close call to the public and come back to special events. But tonight we have a presentation by the Show Low School Showbiz Choir. Cynthia Whipple, we thank you and for your leadership and for what you're doing with these youth, and turn the time to you.
Next. Yeah. Okay. As you can see, we're in the middle of our Feast of Carols week. So, guys, face them. But mixed formation right here. Okay. So these students have come to sing for you tonight. They will be performing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week, doing Feast of Carols. This is the 33rd annual production. And so they're excited to put this on the stage. We do have sold out crowds for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. There are still a few tickets available on Saturday at noon. If you would like to come to the matinee, and you can contact Tisha Crandall at 528-8038 if you would like tickets. We hope that those of you who haven't yet got your tickets will come and join us. This is a wonderful event, and we have some amazing youth in this community that are putting on this production. So with that said, we would like to perform a piece for you tonight. This is Angels We Have Heard on High.
You want to come up here?
Bank phones.
Bum, bum. Angels sing singing, singing on the plains. On the mountains every cloud echo back the joyous praise. Sing Gloria,
Sing Gloria, in excelsis Deo. Sing Gloria, sing Gloria, in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this humility? Why your joyous strains prolong?
say what made the tidings by your
Heavenly song, sing Gloria, sing Gloria, in excelsis Deo. Sing Gloria, sing Gloria, in excelsis Deo.
Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Sing, Gloria, in excelsis Deo.
Sing Gloria, sing Gloria, sing Gloria, in excelsis Deo. Oh, sing in excelsis Deo.
Before you guys sit down, we're going to have each of you just real quick, give us your name and give us what part you're playing before, and just kind of file out. How's that? Yeah, you can do that, or you can sing it.
Sure, okay. Audrey Whipple, royalty.
Rosalia Burr, everything.
Matthew Jones, Lord of the Lowlands.
Ooh. Shelby Hall, Jester's wife.
Justice Webb, almost King of the Highlands Jester this year.
Royalty on the Lowlands.
Madison Hall, Queen of the Lowlands. Jerica Crandall, and I'm royalty on the Lowlands.
Bryce Moore, Lowlander.
Brianna Casson, royalty.
Brady McPeak, King of the Lowlands.
Julie Ellsworth, royalty.
Alex McNeil, Royalty of Highlands.
Madison Bennett, I'm royalty on the Highlands. Emma Hall, royalty.
Nathan Tregaskis, royalty.
Lauren Clark, royalty on the Lowlands.
Ethan Tippett's royalty / prince and princess's jester.
Ashley Warwick, royalty on the Lowlands.
Jordan McRae, royalty on the Lowlands.
Taylon Hall, royalty on the Lowlands.
Braden Hill, Lowland Jester.
Jackson Tregaskis, Highland royalty.
Amber Pierce, Highland Queen.
Sterling Moore, Chamberlain Lowland.
Brianna McCaleb, Lowland Jester's wife.
Great. Well, thank you.
I have a real quick question before you leave. Why is the shortest person in the back? You can barely see her, the top of her head.
Normally they're on risers, so she's
Okay.
elevated.
It's
On
still
behalf of
sometimes
on behalf of the city council, we're going to dub you Royalty Highlands tonight, okay? So thank you.
Pick the better side.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much and good luck and thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, he is the shortest person in that family.
Thank you. Our next item is a presentation of our annual report of the Show Historical Society. Claire Thomas.
One of you forgot your coat.
There's a coat back here.
It's the shortest Turduscus of the family. Turgascus of the family, sorry.
Good evening, Mayor Seymour, City Council, and city staff. Wow, that's a hard act to follow. And I don't know about all of you, but it seems like just yesterday I was standing here giving last year's report. This year is just, it's gone. So we had another very successful year at the Show Low Historical Society. Our visitor count was 4,346. And as it stands today, that's just 10 short of what we had last year. So I'm sure that we'll bypass that by the time we end the season. And our volunteer hours, we had 1,947 volunteer hours. And items that were accessioned, brought in to donate or on loan to the museum were 60 items. And I must add, I wish they were still here, that the Gentry household donated their family organ to the Show Low Museum. So, you know, the Gentrys were an integral part in the Feast of Carols and the music program at the Show Low School forever. So we're honored to have that at our house. So the museum continues to be a gathering place for a variety of clubs and organizations in the White Mountain community, some to include the Moms Club, the Red Hat Ladies, Creative Crafters, or Wood Carvers. The Emblem Club now makes an annual visit when they have their president and vice president of the state. They always come by the Show Low Museum when they're in town visiting. The Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts. And we continue to enjoy teaching our area school children about the history in our community, be it public schools, charter schools, private schools, or homeschool. We continue to host and teach the children, and that includes our 2 Heritage Days, one in the spring and one in the fall. And the school children, it averages between 500 and 800 children in a season that comes to the museum to visit. I keep a separate record of that so that just for myself, that I know that we're reaching all levels and it's just not retired people coming to the museum. Our museum has been the recipient of several beautification projects this year. I hope that you've all taken note of the outside west wall, which is now a beautiful mural painted by artist Steve Taylor, depicting our heritage in the cattle and lumber industries, and of course the dependable railroad to haul the goods to and from the railhead in Holbrook is depicted on that west wall. And 5 of our large front windows are now covered with UV protected window screens, and that's very important in a museum to keep the elements, especially the sun, out and off of our exhibits, because the sun's very damaging. So we were very, very pleased to partner with Swire Coca-Cola, Jen McClung, Allegra, Clyde Moses, and Flower Box Photography, Deborah Austin. Deborah's photos are of the Show Low area, and it to include the original Rock Jail. And so if you haven't taken note of those, please drive by and take a look at those. They really spruce the front of the building up. Our museum board of director, President Bob Shamosko, painted the outside trim of the building, and that further enhanced our street visibility. Our Eagle Scout, Hunter Braswell, completed the Keystone Block retaining wall on the Navajo County East Side parking area. The wall is an attractive as well as a functional in preventing erosion. And I know that some of the city staff helped, and we thank you for that. It was a pleasure this year to work with Sparta Bronze, the Cooley family, and the city of Show Low in creating the magnificent bronze statue for the downtown festival marketplace. It's a masterpiece that this city should be proud of, and I'm sure we all are. And I'm trusting that that bronze statue will be with us for generations to come. The sculpture came to the museum early on and got a lot of Cordon Cooley's history, pictures of what he looked like, the clothing that they wore during that time. So we were happy to help with that. And again this year, the museum partnered with the Arizona Parks Service at Full Hollow Lake. John Hogue presented the story of Adair, the underwater town, at a gathering held at Full Hollow Amphitheater. And this is a program that we work with the Park Service with every year, and it's well attended. The people that are in the park at the time that this program is presented, they always just enjoy it so much, and oftentimes then they come to the museum to see what else our community has to offer. And most of these are out-of-town guests that are there. The museum would like to thank our advertisers and members for their continued support. For without all of your support, we would not be. And first and foremost, the city of Show Low, Navajo County, the Maverick Magazine, Amy Rogers and her staff, the White Mountain Independent newspaper, Laura Singleton and her staff, the City TV, Mel West and his staff. Steve Taylor is also an intricate part of our museum. He is going to paint inside the museum. We have a large window that divides the city side from the Navajo County side. And that window is going to have a large oak tree painted on it. And on that oak tree, we will acknowledge our museum members and families and businesses. So as our memberships come in, those names will be placed on that tree. And I had this vision in the middle of the night one night that we should have this oak tree there because an oak tree is strong, and that's what this community is strong. And also we will have roots in the tree on the window that we will have the names of our 5 founding members of our museum painted into those roots. And that will always be there. So in closing, the museum will close for this season December 16th and reopen March 1st. But as always, if you have family in or need to come into the museum for any reason, you can call me and I'll be happy to come down and open up. And so that's my report for this year. And do you have any questions I can answer for you?
No, we appreciate what you do and what you provide for our community. Thanks so much. Thanks
Thank you.
for your help on the statue. I know you came up with a lot of information there. But appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. Well, Merry Christmas to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is the consent calendar. I look to council to see if there's any items that need to be pulled or discussed separately. I'll go through those items. We have an acceptance of amendment of rural public transportation agreement. We have a consideration of reappointment of board members to the Show Low Municipal Property Corporation. Consideration of approval of declaration of surplus property for December 2017 auction. Consideration acceptance of the Show Low Lake restroom, Show Low Project PR-0117, and the consideration of the minutes of the Show Low City Council of November 21st, 2017. Look for a motion.
Move.
I have a motion by Councilmember Leach, a second by Councilmember Crittenden. All those in favor? Any opposed? See that pass 7-0. Next item is a public hearing, ordinance number 2017-07, amending the zoning ordinance of the city, amending the zoning map, changing the zoning on AP number 309-52-015A from C2 general commercial to mobile home manufactured housing. Timber Mesa Fire Medical, Mr. Tregaskis.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. At its regular meeting of November 28, 2017, the Planning and Zoning Commission voted 6-0 to recommend approval of the zone change request submitted by Brian Savage of the Timber Mesa Fire and Medical District to rezone AP number 309-52015A from C2 or general commercial to MH or manufactured housing. This was subject to staff recommendations. These recommendations were that all development shall comply with all applicable federal, state, and local requirements, and that the southern property line shall be screened with a 6-foot-tall solid material fence. Timber Mesa currently owns a piece of property located at the end of North 41st Avenue, which is a cul-de-sac located in a residential neighborhood. Due to the merger of the Lakeside, Linden, and Show Low fire districts, with the new facility currently being built in Linden, Timber Mesa no longer has a use for this property. In addition, the size, shape, and location of the property render its use for commercial purposes unlikely. However, because the property is zoned C2, the property cannot be used for residential purposes, despite being located near a residential neighborhood. Timber Mesa has indicated that because a home cannot be placed on the property, it is difficult to sell. Staff has scheduled the public hearing and possible adoption of ordinance number 2017-07 for December 5th, 2017. The ordinance would become effective 30 days thereafter. Staff is available for questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of Mr. Tragaskis before I turn this to public hearing? Okay. Seeing none. At this time, I'll open up the public hearing for the consideration of ordinance number 2017-07. Seeing nobody moved, has any comments at public hearing, I'll close the public hearing and come back and ask our city clerk if she will read by ordinance number 2017-07 by title only.
Thank you, Mayor. An ordinance of the Mayor and Council of the City of Show Low, Arizona, amending the zoning ordinance of the city, Article 15-1, amending the zoning map, changing the zoning on property known as Fairway Park Center, Lot 15, in the northwest quarter of Section 23, Township 10 North, Range 21 East of the Gila and Salt River Meridian, Navajo County, Arizona, more particularly described as AP number 3095215A, from C2 General Commercial to MH Manufactured Housing.
Okay, any other discussion or comments? I'll look for a motion. Councilmember Crittenden.
I move to adopt ordinance number 2017-07.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Kelly. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? See that pass 7-0. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tragaskis. Next item is item 8C, consideration of approval of proposal fiscal year 2019 budget calendar. Mr. Johnson.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Each year, the city prepares and adopts a budget based on the stated goals and objectives of the city council and input from the residents of the city of Show Low. As part of this process, several town hall style meetings for public input and council study sessions are required. The attached calendar establishes the dates for the council budget sessions, town halls, and budget adoptions. And staff's available for any questions.
Any comments or questions concerning this calendar or schedule? I'll look for a motion. Councilmember Leach.
I move to approve the fiscal year 2019 budget calendar.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Kakavas. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? See that pass 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Make sure you bring treats this year. Okay, you heard that.
I made a note of it.
Next item is item 8D, consideration of notice of intention to increase water right preservation fee. Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. As you know, we discussed this water rights preservation fee at our city retreat back in October. And this kind of establishes the calendar for moving forward. Pursuant to Arizona revised statutes, we're required to adopt a notice of intention to increase the water fees, to publish that notice, and then to hold a public hearing at the date and time specified. This notice also sets the public hearing, but it does not obligate the City Council to implement any proposed water fees. Adoption of those fees will require separate approval by resolution at the public hearing or after the public hearing on February 6th, 2018. And the proposed fee increases from 75 cents per connection per month to $1.50 per connection per month. The previous statute, it only required a 30 days notice, but they changed that last year to a 60-day notice, so that's why we're doing it so far in advance.
Yeah. Thank
I'm
you.
available for any questions you have.
Any questions of Mr. Brown? Mr. Kelly? Councilmember Kelly, sorry.
Thank you. Where it says, I move to approve the notice of intention to increase, could that legally say to possibly increase? I mean, it sounds like we vote for this, we've already decided, and it's a for sure thing that that's what's going to happen, and then it says we don't have to do it. Is there a required verbiage on that notice?
There's no required verbiage, it's just that you have to adopt the notice of intention. So that's why it's worded that way. You're approving a notice of intention to do that at that meeting. Now, you could vote at that meeting not to do it, but we have to notice it and put it in the paper that there's an intention that you're going to increase the water rates on that day, to give the notice to everybody.
I mean, I don't like the verbiage. This can pass with a 6-1 vote, right?
Yeah, it passes 6-1, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Not a look for a motion. Councilmember Leach.
I move to approve the notice of intention to increase the water rights preservation fee provided for a public hearing at 7 p.m. on February 6, 2018.
Have a motion, second by Councilmember Hatch. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? See that passed 5-2.
Passes 5-2 instead of 6-1.
Next item we have is consideration of approval of a 5-year capital improvements program for fiscal years 2019 to 2023. Mr. Cup.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The City of Show Low is required by City Code to have an approved 5-year capital improvements program, CIP. The CIP is a planning tool to look 5 years ahead in order to plan and prioritize the city's needs. The program is administered by an advisory committee that consists of city staff, representatives from the Planning and Zoning Commission, City Council, and a citizen representative. Prior to the advisory committee meeting, a public notice is posted for recommendations for capital project requests. Every requester that provides contact information receives a written response from staff, usually after the council approval of the CIP. The first year of the CIP includes any projects that were not funded in the fiscal year 2017 CIP. These projects are noted on the CIP summary sheets. The 2018 projects are the committee's top priorities. However, it is understood that all of the projects cannot be funded. The budget process will be the final determinant of which projects receive funding. Only projects over $50,000 are included in the CIP. Smaller projects will be accounted for in each department's operations budget. Each project listed in the CIP has a detailed capital outlay project sheet, which identifies the project, its cost, potential funding sources, and a timetable. Detailed cost estimates and maps are also included with the worksheets when appropriate. Staff, we've got about 3 copies of this book, and this book here has the maps and the detailed cost estimates and things like that. And certainly anyone's welcome to come and take a look at that if you would like to look at more detail about a specific project, and staff can also help you out with that. The advisory committee met on October 26th and again on November 16th, at which time the CIP was approved by the committee for recommendation of council approval. Staff recommends that the council approve the 5-year capital improvements program for fiscal years 2019 to 2023. I'd be happy to take questions.
Any questions, comments? Anything? I think we're fine. We got our bump fixed in our road, so I know 3-4 council members are happy.
Had to have my teeth fixed though.
On there, so it's good.
Still have to do something with ADOT though. Boy.
I'll look for a motion at this time. Councilmember Hatch.
I move to approve the 5-year capital improvements program for fiscal years 2019 through 2023 for the city of Show Low.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Kakavas. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? See that pass 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Tuck. Appreciate it. Next item is summary of current events. Look to council members if they'd like to go over any current events at this time. Councilmember Alsop.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank everybody on, I really want to start out with, since it was quoted in the newspaper, I might as well do it in the thing anyway. In the letter to the editor, the topic I'm going to talk about is not hogwash. I want to thank everybody that helped on November 21st for serving lunches at Senior Center and Meals on Wheels. We served about over 175 people, and we had a great time doing it. The food was great. We had an enjoyable afternoon. But the numbers in the paper for that one time seemed like it was like for 1 week of that, how many people we served, but that really was for a whole month. So the numbers have definitely gone down, and we're trying to pick it back up to help the people in the city of Show Low, and not just the city of Show Low, but in the county and even Pine Top Lakeside area and Wagon Wheel area that needs a service for having meals brought to their house or even have them served here in downtown. So as it is right now, we are definitely trying to help as many people as we can and get the numbers back up where we're really helping a lot of people. That's our desire. So I want to thank everybody that definitely helped on that Thanksgiving luncheon. We had a great time. And I also want to just thank everybody for everything they've done this year, and I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council member? Councilmember Crittenden.
I do want to remind everybody that's a member of the Show Low Chamber of Commerce. There's a monthly breakfast tomorrow morning at Salterra at 8 o'clock. There will be guest speakers there, and it's a way and a time to be able to interface and meet different members of the chamber and promote your business. So everybody that is a member of the chamber, you're more than welcome.
Thank you. Councilwoman Kakavas.
It's our last meeting of the year, and so I'd like to wish our citizens and our employees of the City of Show Low a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hope you're all safe and you enjoy your families, and we appreciate all you do.
Thank you. Anyone else? I'll just summarize. I just want to thank the citizens and businesses who participated this year in decorating, and also the city for the great decorations that they put up throughout our community. It looks really good. And the parade this year, Main Street and the city, what they worked together for the festival tree lighting as well as the parade was just a spectacular event. It was really well attended, and we had a great evening. We probably had close to 500 or 600 people here for the lighting of the tree, and it was just a great turnout for everybody. But thank you, and just wish you all a very Merry Christmas and hope that you have a prosperous New Year. And let's be safe and let's be kind and continue to be kind as we have in the past. And this year was a record for the community and giving on the community fast, and we got those numbers in today, and it's just phenomenal what this community has done. We appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you for serving with the council this year and all your efforts and everything that you've done, as well as with the city employees. Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. A few more things in this holiday season we want to point out. We have, as has been mentioned, we have all the lights up, and we just completed this last weekend the Christmas light parade and the tree lighting. But a few more things we have coming up. The second Santa at the Shops at Gingerbread Lane that Main Street presents is this Friday, noon to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 10 to 4 p.m. at the city campus gym at 620 East McNeil. Then the library has two Polar Express events, a matinee showing of a children's movie on Thursday, December 14th from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m., and a reading of a book, above the book, Polar Express by Show Chief of Police Joe Shelley and Timber Mesa Chief Brian Savage, with a visit by Santa on Thursday, December 21st. There's 3 half-hour sessions. It was really popular last year in one session, so they split it up into 3 sessions this year. The 3 sessions for reading are scheduled at 6:15, 6:45, and 7:15. Children 12 years and younger must have a ticket, which you can get at the library at a first-come, first-served basis. And our finale event for the year, the Deuce of Clubs drop on New Year's Eve, December 31st at Festival Marketplace. Those festivities begin at 11 p.m., followed by the dropping of the Deuce of Clubs card and fireworks at midnight. And through the end of December, our library is accepting non-perishable food to pay overdue fines. The Food for Fines program is offered only for items belonging to the Show Low Library, not from the other libraries in the county. For each food item, the library will forgive $1 in overdue fees, which doesn't apply to any other fees such as lost items, damaged items, or collection items, or collection fees. The non-perishable items must be 12 ounces and not expired or opened, and all collected items will be given to a local food bank, and that goes through the end of the month. A reminder that the Aquatic Center is still closed for annual maintenance, but will reopen on next Monday, December 11th. And we appreciate everyone's patience during this closure. It's an annual closure. We close every year for 2 weeks during this time, but it'll be open again on December 11th. After the holidays, a reminder, you can recycle your Christmas tree from December 26th to January 7th by dropping it off with all the decorations removed in the designated area at the Frontier Park parking lot north of the Deuce of Clubs on 9th Place. The trees will be then taken to Novo Power in Snowflake for use as biomass fuel. And as many have noticed on White Mountain Road, land has been cleared north of Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, where the hospital will build a new medical office building, an ambulatory surgery center, and an administrative services building. And they're going full speed ahead on that project at this time, if you've been up in that area. And as has been mentioned, this is the last council meeting of the year. We wish everybody a Merry Christmas and happy and safe New Year and happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other comments? Okay. Next item we have is executive session, where we will do an annual evaluation of the city magistrate. I need a motion to move into executive session.
So move.
Motion made by Councilmember Leach, seconded by Councilwoman Kakavas. All those in favor? Any opposed? Passed 7-0. This time we'll move into executive session. Thank you
Mayor,
for being here.
Was there not a second item on the agenda?
Confidentiality statement, item B. Oh, I'm sorry. And we'll also discussion and consultation, the public order, position, instruction representatives regarding negotiations for purchase, sale, or lease real estate property. And then the minutes that we have of the November 7th meeting. Sorry about that. Thank you, Councilmember Kelly.
Still so move.